Yo, what's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Stacks, and I'm back with another episode of Grew Up Inside. First and foremost, as always, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's viewing my videos, hits like, comments, and everybody that just been rocking with me since day one, man. I appreciate it. I know it's been a little minute. You know, since I put a video up, I had some shit I had to take care of, you know, with my personal life, but your boy is back. And today, what I'm gonna talk about is just yet another injustice and brutal act, I could say, for lack of better terms, being committed against juveniles, our youth. In this story, it's gonna be obviously about me. So yeah, man, I'm gonna just jump right into it. Today I'm gonna talk about when I got beat for 3 days straight. So I had just touched down in Abraxas 1, and anyone who doesn't know about Abraxas, it's basically a really big open facility, which by open facility I mean no locked doors. The doors aren't locked, so basically you can run if you want to, but the place is so far out in the mountains that they say either the mountain lions or the bears gonna kill you, and if not, the hillbillies is gonna catch you with the gun. So anyway, I just touched down in Abraxas, and I was maybe there, I'd say a good 2-3 weeks, you know, so I was still really fresh, you know what I mean? I still had a really bad attitude and a chip on my shoulder, just because of the things that I was going through. I felt like that I was being done wrong, you know, for being my first time in trouble and whatnot, and I was just a really bitter, angry kid, you know, and so I just touched down there, and one of the things that they had there was working out your problems on the floor. All right, so one day it was razor time, okay, and when they do razors, it's usually at night, 7-8 o'clock at night, around shower time. All right, and so a buddy of mine shaved his head. All right, and mind you, we're not allowed to pass razors back and forth at all. You know what I'm saying? It's a big no-no, all right? And at the time, I didn't have no facial hair, you know? I was still a kid. My facial hair didn't start growing in until my later youth, you know, 19, 20, something like that. So I really didn't have no need for a razor at the time, you know? And a buddy of mine, he wanted to borrow my razor, all right? So I'm like, fuck it, we both gonna go to the bathroom at the same time, because what they did is when you went in for your shower, they would say razor or not, you know? So I took a razor, me and my buddy went to the bathroom at the same time, and I was gonna let him use my razor to shave his head while I was in the shower, because the showers in the bathroom is connected to each other. The showers were in the back, stalls on the right hand side, 3 stalls, right? So I gave him my razor, all right? Now, there's usually 3 people in the bathroom at a time, because like I said, 3 showers, all right? So me and my homie went in there, and another guy came in behind us, and I'm assuming he saw me pass my razor off, because the staff don't really stand there and stare at you while you're getting into the shower and whatnot, you know? So I passed my razor off, and I guess homeboys had seen me pass the razor off, all right? Now, me and the guy who seen me pass the razor, me and that guy had problems before. One time we were in dinner a few days prior to that, maybe a week, I'm not sure, but I ended up calling him a fucking junkie. You know what I'm saying? We got into a little argument. I called him a junkie. Long story short, he told on me. So I was already in trouble for that, because I wasn't admitting to it. Like, no matter what they said, no matter what they did, I wasn't admitting to it. So I was already kind of on thin ice because of that. And so, long story short, he went in, showered up, came out, and snitched on me for passing the razor. Alright? So when I finally came out the shower, they're questioning me about it. And I'm like, nah, I didn't pass it. So long story short, it ended up getting a little bit heated, because what they would do is they would stand you somewhere, right? And they would have a staff literally right behind you, just in case you go to move or anything, they can grip you up right away. So they'd have one staff behind you, one on each side of you, and one in front of you, like a little circle around you, basically like, you know, talking down to. And mind you, like I said, I already had a chip on my shoulder going into the place, you know. And then on top of that, I was pissed about being snitched on about passing my razor. All right. So they're yelling at me, and then, you know, I kind of just get fed up with it, and I'm just like, man, fuck you. And when I said fuck you, my arm went back, and when it went back, like split second as I'm saying fuck you, I get gripped up in a full Nelson. All right. When they grip me up, I start wiggling to get out of it, and then we end up on the floor. When they slam me on the floor, they didn't just toss me down. The two of them picked me up and slammed me on the ground, knocked the air out of me, right? And like I said, they have a thing called working your problems out on the floor. So that's basically what they did to me. They held me on the floor for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours, all right? And the whole time this is going on, they got their knees in the back of my neck. They got their knees on my lower spine. I'm catching body shots and shit like that. And this was going on, like I said, for a few hours. They're down there holding me on the floor, and they had those industrial rugs, the real thin little carpets that don't even really feel like carpet. It's just like hard cement with a surface, and they were pushing me across the fucking carpet. So I was getting a brush burn on my face, and this was going on for like 2 hours, all right? So that finally, I kind of worked my way through it. Basically, when they say working your problems on the floor, you got to calm down. You got to identify your thinking errors. So this was going on for at least a 3-hour period. All right. And by that time, it was already like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Because like I said, the razors were at nighttime, 8, 9 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock at night, something like that. So by the time they got done basically beating me up, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? And what they did, they just held me on the floor. Like I said, gave me some body shots, talking dirty to me in my ear, you know, just saying really rude remarks and derogatory things to me, you know, just making me more and more angry. So maybe a few hours go by, and I finally get them to let me up, and I go and change, and I go to bed, right? So the next day I got up. And we get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning there, I think. It was like 6 or 6:30, something like that. But anyway, every time you get in trouble or something happens, staff write an incident report, right? So they wrote the report. So when the next shift came on, the morning shift, it was some dickheads. And the staff that came on in the morning were the two guys that did my intake. And when I did my intake, I was being a smart ass. You know, I was just kind of being a prick to them, and they were being a prick to me too, you know. At least that's what I felt, that they were being a prick to me, you know, screaming in my face. It was in my file that I carried a gun, and they're like, oh, what kind of gun did you carry? And I'm like, well, I don't carry one currently. I know you don't want to carry one currently. Do you look like blah, 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 blah? Look like you have a gun on you? Did you have a gun on your hair? Blah, blah, blah. What kind of gun were you carrying? So they were already had issues with me because of that, and when I came in, I had a bunch of graffiti drawn and stuff, and they were really yelling at me about that. And so I kind of feel like these two guys already had it out for me, you know what I mean? So when they came in that morning, the next morning, they read the report and seen that I was calling the staff all types of bitches and whatnot like that. So when they woke us up that morning, they came and woke me up and did it in a manner that I really didn't like. You know what I mean? So I'm laying there sleeping, you know, dead to the world, and my blanket and sheet gets ripped off of me. You know, they ripped it off me, and split second after my eyes pop open, because they pop open real quick like that, because I didn't expect my blankets to be torn off of me. They were already on me, screaming in my face, you think it's okay to hit my staff members and blah, 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 and they're yelling at me. So I'm already angry because I had just woke up. I'm not really a morning person. And then also too, I was still kind of pissed about the night before. You know, they held me on the ground for 3 hours, brush burned the side of my face, gave me some body shots, put their knees on me, you know, just every little thing they could do to hurt me while they were working my problems out on the floor. So I was already angry about that. So now, 2 seconds after I wake up, they're already screaming in my face because supposedly and apparently I tried to hit one of the staff members. That's what was put into the report, and that's the reason why but all I wanted to do was say, fuck you, and scream at them, because they were sitting there screaming in my face, calling me all types of punks, and, you know, just a lot of bad word names, you know, and that's why I lashed out and said, fuck you, you know, but they put in the report I tried to attack a staff member, so they were mad about that. And they were getting on me. So 2 seconds after I wake up, the following day, after being held on the floor for 3 hours, punched, kicked, and basically smothered, 2 grown men laying on my back, I can't fucking breathe, my chest is not getting the right compression. The next day morning, basically going through the same thing. So I'm in bed and they're screaming at me, and I'm like, man, fuck this. And I'm like, man, fuck y'all, blah, 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 blah. I start yelling at him, and when I was yelling, I accidentally spit. And when I spit into his face, he grabbed me. I was on the top bunk, grabbed me, pulled me off the bunk. And when he pulled me off the bunk, the back of my head hit the ladder going down. Bah, 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 hitting the floor. And now I'm on the floor again with 2 grown men on top of me, but this time I'm not face down. I'm face up, and I'm laying, and they got their knees on my arms, which honestly isn't even a restraint technique. It's like a fucking full mount in UFC. What are these dudes doing that to me for? You know, so they got their knees on my biceps, and they're screaming at me, using their fingers like this, poking me in the chest real hard. And this went on, I'd say probably another 2-3 hours or so, you know. And when, like I said, when they say you're working your problems on the floor, like, you could be there silent for 30 minutes and they're still gonna be holding you on the floor with force. Why? I don't know. A lot of kids have died like that. I'll tell you that much. They're sitting there putting all their weight, you know, 2-3 grown men putting all their weight on your chest. You can't breathe, you suffocate, you know, and you're sitting there telling them, I can't breathe, and they say, if you can't breathe, you can't talk. So if you're talking, you're breathing, you know what I mean? So in the rooms, they had the same carpet. So once again, I'm getting, you know, my face pushed on the carpet, I'm getting poked in my chest, you know. Basically, they were getting me back for so-called swinging and attacking a staff member. So this is the second day in a row that this happened to me, and it was only maybe I went to bed probably that night before, 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. So it was only 5-6 hours in between when I last got, I say, beat up. They basically beat me up. Picked me up, dumped me on the floor, knocked my wind out, gave me body shots, and now this time they ripped my blankets off, pulled me out of my bed by my arm and my leg, smacked my head on the motherfucking ladder, falling down, and I'm on the ground, 2 fat ass grown men on top of me, full mount, poking me in the chest. My chest got all bruised up. I had bruises on my arms from where they had their knees at, and it was just a fucked up situation and a really helpless feeling for me at the time. You know, I was 15 years old, you know what I mean, and I was really fresh in this joint, and you know, 3 weeks after I'm there, I'm already getting beat up by staff members, you know what I mean? So they're holding me down, you know, like I said, yelling at me, and you know, basically I worked my way through it, because what can you do? What can you do if you're sitting there being held on the ground and they're telling you, we're not going to let you up until you identify your thinking errors, calling you all types of dummies and pussies and pointing in your face and yelling and spitting on you? So I'm like getting spit on, getting poked up, you know what I mean? So that shit kind of got the best of me after 2 hours of being held on the floor like that. You know, I couldn't barely breathe. This dude's sitting on my chest, putting his weight on my stomach, you know, feeling like he's basically breaking my ribs. You know what I mean? And, you know, we were there, I'd say at least, like I said, a good 2 hours before I started getting tired of it. So after 2 hours, that's when I started becoming a little bit more respectful. I stopped cussing, you know, started identifying my so-called thinking errors and my negative actions that got me in this situation. You know, but in reality, looking back on it, they should have went about it a different way. You know, these guys are counselors, and they shouldn't be waking people up like that. What type of response do you expect? if you're ripping someone's blanket off of them while they're sleeping and then snatching them out of the top bunk, fucking them all up. You know what I mean? So we were on the floor early as hell in the morning for a good 3-4 hours. Easily. Because 2 hours after it, I'm getting tired of it. So then I finally decided to try to start working through my problems. And then that takes another 2 hours until they finally let you up. And when they let me up, I felt like I got hit by a fucking train. I was mentally exhausted, physically beat up. I had bruises, brush burns on my arms, and shit like that. And it really made me really bitter. You know what I mean? And what's crazy is this type of brutality and injustice is going on every fucking day. You know what I mean? As y'all like to know, I focus on the juveniles because not a lot of light is being shed on that topic. You know, you got hundreds of prison channels you could watch. You know what I mean? Yes, I've done time in adult prisons, but I don't really feel there's no need for me to talk about that because you're just hearing the same story from a different mouth, you know? But I don't really see no one out there focusing on juveniles, people that are 21 and under, 18 and under, when that's where the reform should be being done at, you know what I mean? So after about 4 hours, I finally worked my way through it. I get up, and they had me on something that was called IS, intensive supervision. And they take your shoes away, make you walk around in flip-flops, not regular sandals, I'm talking flip-flops, the fucking thong flip-flop that your toes go through, yeah, they make you walk around in them. You have to sit in the hallway of the dorm all day. You don't go to school, you don't go to gym, rec, you don't go to the cafeteria and eat, none of that. They bring you peanut butter and jellies. And then, you know, when they were serving me my food, my bread would be all smashed. They were purposely, you know, messing with me, trying to provoke me. You know what I mean? And it was just really bullshit, you know? So later that night, the shift change comes in for the PM shift. And mind you, I'm still in the hallway. I'm on IS. And I got into an altercation with a staff member that night. Kind of basically just like a shouting match. They didn't really put hands on me that night, but I got into a shouting match. I used a lot of foul language and so forth. And as you remember, like I said, they always make an incident report. Anytime that, you know, there's any type of altercations or anything like that, there's a log that the staff members write in. So they wrote in that log that, you know, I was being disrespectful again that night. You know, so 6 o'clock in the morning the next day, mind you, this is the third day in a row that I'm getting abused and beat on. They didn't give me none of my phone calls, none of that. I couldn't call home, tell my pops what was going on. And even if they did, a counselor sits literally, there's a desk right here. Counselor's on one side, you're on the other. They dial the number, spin the phone around. So you gotta talk on the phone in front of them. You say the wrong thing, they're gonna end up fucking you up. So what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? What can you really do? You know? So I'm assuming they wrote some shit in the log about me tripping out. And the next fucking day, they wake me up on the same bullshit. But this time, they wake me up with hands around my neck. So I woke up being choked. And that wasn't the first time that wasn't the only time that happened to me. It happened to me again. I got woke up being choked in another placement. I think I might have spoke on that video. I might have spoke on it in a video, one of my older videos. They woke me up choking me. But I got woke up with hands around my neck. You know what I mean? So naturally, I woke up swinging. And boom, that was their excuse. They fucked me up. They have walkie-talkies. All the staff have walkie-talkies. I got cracked with the walkie-talkie in the back of my head. I still got a little scar back there. They had to take me and get 2 stitches. So they whacked me. My shit started leaking everywhere. All over the white sheets. The beds had white sheets on them, white pillowcases. So my shit started leaking everywhere. Stained my sheets all up. And, you know, I didn't really know what other choice I had other than to fight back. You know, what was I supposed to do? Lay there and let them beat on me? You know what I mean? Even though I did try to fight back, I didn't really get nothing off. What type of chance do you got when you're asleep and someone wakes you up? Hands around your neck. boom, drop an elbow on you, boom, crack you with a walkie-talkie. I just did what I tried. I tried to do what I could. Try to swing up. I'm trying to claw at their eyes. Anything like that. You know what I mean? And there's 3 or 4 grown men on top of me. 3rd day in a row. Fucking me up. Now I'm on the floor again, working out my problems on the floor. 3-4 hours straight. Holding me down. I'm already bruised up. Got bruises on my chest, bruises on my arms. The back of my head's leaking every fucking where now. You know, and it was just a really helpless situation for me. 3 days in a row, they beat me. And let me tell you, it took for me to chill out. You know, but it left a chip on my shoulder. And needless to say, 7 months into that program, I got FTA'd. FTA stands for Failure to Adjust to a Court-Committed Program. I got FTA'd. Long story short, me and another guy jumped a staff member. I'll probably tell that story on here. We jumped the staff and you know, did what we had to do to him because he was constantly beating on us and disrespecting everybody on a daily. This isn't something that just happened one time a month. No, this is on a daily, a everyday thing. You know, 3 days in a row, them dudes beat me up. They say it's restraint, being restrained, working out your problems on the floor or whatever. Nah, man, they're jumping you. Full-grown men jumping you. It doesn't matter if you're 12, 15, 18, or 21. They will catch you when you're lacking and fuck you up. You know what I mean? And this story is just another one that goes to show you how are we supposed to reform if they're going about it with actions of violence, you know, especially against juveniles. Juveniles should be the ones that you're focusing on with programs, you know, not being violent toward them, because violence begets motherfucking violence. So if you're committing violent acts against someone constantly, it's gonna make them lash out. I don't care who you are. You get fed up, the anger bents up and just explodes, and then you're ending up with new charges because you fucking stabbed Joey in the face with a pencil 6 times. You know what I mean? And then by then it's too late, because they can fabricate paperwork, lose footage, because the hallways have cameras in them, but 95 to 99% of the time you're not getting restrained and beat up in hallways. It's happening in bathrooms, in the rooms, in supply closets, you know, group rooms. They ain't gonna hold you on the ground for 4 hours and give you body shots in front of a camera. You know, it's happened. I ain't gonna sit here and say it's never happened, because it has. You know, and it's just going on a daily, man. We need to wake up, man. Y'all need to tune into these videos, man. We need to shed light on this shit, you know, because it didn't only happen with me, you know. And I know there's a lot of yous out there that suffered abuse at the hands of these so-called counselors and staff members at such a young and tender age that it kind of, you know, gives you a different trajectory as far as your thought process about the law, about, you know, superior people in power, you know, police, government, COs, POs, teachers, whatever. It kind of messes you up in the long run for all of that. You know what I mean? And it's just a all bad situation all around. Like, yeah, I know that we put ourselves in those situations by doing what we do, but a lot of us had bad guidance. You know what I mean? Bad guidance from people that we looked up to, and it just leads us down the wrong path, you know. But once we hit these placements, they shouldn't be treating us like it's a fucking max prison, especially if it's in an open facility like this, you know. And Abraxas wasn't the only one where they were beating us like that. Glen Mills was another one. YFC 1, 2, and 3, youth forestry camps. You know, all these places are open facilities, and they have basically roid raging ass fucking staff members that are supposed counselors in these places that can't handle it if someone says fuck you. You know, if you're in that position as a counselor and I say, man, fuck you, I hate you, you aren't supposed to haul off and crack me in the back of the head with a walkie-talkie. You know what I mean? And the funny thing about it is, even after that, when they took me to the hospital, they said I fell. And what was I supposed to do? I had to go along with it. I couldn't be like, no, I didn't fall, because then I know when we got back in the car, they were going to fuck me up more. So that's what they would do. They would beat you up and then use an intimidation factor so you couldn't reach out to your PO, to your parents, to doctors when they do these hospital trips. I seen a kid get his lip split wide open from a knee to the fucking face. They were fighting this dude like they were in a street fight. Grabbed him by his head and kneed him in his shit. And it literally split his lip wide open. You could see his teeth showing through, leaking everywhere, you know? And again, when they took him to the hospital, oh, he fell. Oh, he fell playing basketball. Oh, he fell playing dodgeball or whatever. So, man, again, man, we got to wake up. We got to wake up, and y'all need to tune in, man, because light needs to be shed on this subject. Not a lot of people are talking about it. You know what I'm saying? But your boy Big Stacks is, you know? And I'm going to continue to talk about it. I'm going to continue to bring up these injustices and brutalities. Every day I'm surfing the web looking for different news articles and stuff like that of you know, brutal and heinous acts being committed against kids. You know what I mean? 50,000 children. And that's just under the age of 18. That's not including the 18 to 21 bracket. 50,000 children on any given day in America are locked up. And out of those 50,000, over 70% have suffered abuse at the hands of someone they looked up to, staff members, parents, something like that. You know what I mean? So, man, like I said again, man, we gotta wake up, man. Tune in, share these videos, like them, subscribe to the channel, man, if y'all fucking with the content, man, because like I said, I don't pull no punches. I'm keeping everything 1,000. Fuck 100. I'm keeping it 1,000, 5,000. You know, I'm spitting it like it is, and I'm gonna continue to spit it like it is, regardless of what anybody has to say about it. If I get backlash, I get backlash. I'm hoping I do get backlash. This video needs to go viral. Some of my other videos, they need to go viral, because I am the voice for these children who never got to speak out. You know what I mean? Any of you guys that have done time in juvenile, if you are watching this right now and you suffered abuse at the hands of staff members, reach out to me, man. Reach out to me. I want to bring you on. I want your story to be heard, man, because somebody got to start shedding light, you know, where it's dark. You know what I mean? Like I said, hundreds of prison channels out there. But if y'all want to hear about real brutalities, real injustices being committed against kids, against children, then subscribe to your boy. Tune in, man. If y'all fucking with the content, again, subscribe. You know, I'm gonna keep dropping bangers for y'all. I took a little break, but now I'm back. You know what I mean? And so every day, man, I'm gonna keep dropping these bangers. Make sure y'all tune in, hit like, all that. Share the video, man. Let's get this shit viral, yo, because someone needs to be speaking on this in a more public light. You know, my channel is the only channel I feel that I've seen that focuses on juvenile offenders. So run these shits up, man. Let's get it viral, yo. Let's get it viral and start maybe making some type of change. So till next time, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Yo.